What excitement. Last episode, guys. Any thoughts and theories that you want to share? Some free talk before I run
Ouch.
Ouch.
Ow. I'm hurting so bad.
Hey, Karam, isn't it nice being on top for once?
Yeah. Until we face the boss while they're facing little guys.
That's Futuristic's problem. Don't worry, I can shapeshift in a little bunch of bullshit.
I can neither confirm nor deny named characters on the second level. Probably a named character crouching on that bed. Careful, she might bite you.
You know Warhammer, right?
Vaguely.
You know goblins. How do goblins ride into their mounts? Oh no. Okay, sorry. They ride in the mouth. They ride inside the creatures.
I don't know if I want to get in your frog mouth.
Well, you know, we may
wet.
not have that option. So,
You may not have that option. And logos before this gets
ride
weird.
in his back mouth either. If
What? Hey, he's a shapeshifter. He can put teeth back there, but we're going to run some credits. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Elven Portal podcast. We're playing the Age of Ashes Adventure Path, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and we're trying to revise it, get the rules as up to date as we can. A split party. One suddenly engaged in some crazy undead phantom fight. There's bells ringing, there are hellhounds pouncing, and there's not one but two of the same kind of looking dude, the same kind of looking armor, the same kind of unique mace. How did that happen? Coming at different people at the same time. Why can't Glug Glug see Vicar Niles' opponent and nerf all the damage? That really upsets me. Why can't we have what we always have in every fight? The fans expect it. Damn you, Paizo, for coming up with a very interesting twist on a bunch of... Well, we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. But before we go back to the battle, I want to go back upstairs to where we're trying to be quiet and creepy. And we've spotted a gnome or halfling civilian hiding under a bed. Miros, Karam, what do you guys want to do?
Creepy.
Still around, so think of 3 actions, you know.
Am I aware of the hidden individual?
You can smell somebody within 30 feet of you, and you've determined in the last round he's not through the door. You see Karam crouch and start looking under beds, but he doesn't signal you in any way that he's found anyone. You want to continue to...
Okay, Karam. My nose is broken.
You can signal each other as like ambush or whatever, like if you guys just want to throw a quick action and just like, you know.
I use a bunch of sign, which he does not understand because it is like disjointed and very animated, but means nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah, I would probably hold a finger up to my mouth, kind of like shushing motion to the person underneath the bed to stay quiet.
Are you warning the new person against Miros as opposed to the other way around? Quiet, Miros, there's somebody in the room. It's like, quiet, new person, don't let Miros see you. That is awesome.
Who knows what Miros is going to do, right? I'm assuming it's a halfling.
I am giving you a hero point for that. I've got a picture of this person. We have a name. Careful, if she gets upset with you and like throws a punch, it could be a crit card. Where's my... Oh no, I've lost my... Somewhere in my many... Hang on a second. Hard to see under the bed, but Yeah, I'm thinking this is also a halfling since she doesn't have funky hair. Crying. That's like the makeup's
That's
running.
Gara.
Our black hair done up in a bun on the top with a purple lavender wreath on her head, made Marion style. Adorable cab driving down the road with the doors out, ears, big amber eyes, and cross peasantry, possibly barista employee, costume.
Yeah, can I just eat her?
You're not allowed to eat
So-
any halflings. I'm trying to save them.
I have to reevaluate our friendship level here.
What language are we speaking, gentlemen?
Common.
Okay.
I'm not speaking. I'm only using hand language.
At the mention,
No, I use my exacerbated hand language. Like it's like, Huh? And it very much cycles around the whole eat. Eat.
She shrieks, rolls out from under the bed, and bolts towards the far window. What do you guys do?
Eat.
I'll at this point, if she's making a bunch of noise, I'll tell Miros, go towards the farthest door. She seems scared of it.
All right. Does the farthest door swing in or out?
I'm assuming it's going to open towards you.
Okay,
Since this is the bedroom and you don't want to lock it from this side.
Yeah, I wedge myself against the door.
Okay, so you move to the door. Okay.
Yep, and I put my bum cheeks in the crack.
Okay. So you keep the door from opening. Is that what you're saying? You like block the door?
That is correct.
Okay. She's at the window desperately trying to get it open. Karen, what do you do?
I'll move beside Miros. 5, 10, 15. Yeah. And I'll try to calm her down a little bit of get under the bed again. Stay quiet.
Okay.
We'll handle this.
Okay. Standing in the window light. You guys are now, instead of in the murky light, standing, in the afternoon, evening light, and you guys cross the room. I see you move. I see your faces. I see the way you walk. I see a gnome and a halfling, not just two shadowy figures come in and start talking and then signing about eating and all this stuff. She makes a break for it. You don't shoot me in the back, even though I see your bow out, and he goes and blocks the door, and because he's wedging it closed, and I'm afraid of that door, it clicks. She realizes that you are not the manacle-wielding attackers who recently wrecked the coffee house. And still trying to get the window open like it's open a crack. You're trying to calm her. She turns to you. They took her. They took Lyria. Please, you need to find her and save her. She goes on to describe quickly how she was upstairs alone when she heard a fighting break out below. She sobs in shame, having hidden up here. But when the fighting was over, she crept downstairs. It was obvious that her friends had lost several employees, including Lyria, the boss. They'd been chained up by a group of strangers who fit them with gags and hoods and bundled them into large sacks for transport. Then, this ghost appeared, and monsters with animal heads, one's a vulture and a panther, and they started up the stairs, and I ran for it and hid in here. And then you guys showed up like 10, 20 minutes later.
Don't worry, we've got this all handled. We'll find Lyria.
Okay.
And others.
Society check, boys. Both of you in the tower. We did overhear the attackers joking about how handy it is that halflings are so portable. Makes it so much easier to haul them back to Tennyson Tower. all the way up those steps. Muros, you remember Karam, who obviously remembers, talking about the layout and landmarks. If you get lost, Tamison Tower, if you go this way from east, he kind of gave you guys a quick overview of the town when we came in as opposed to a map. It's a couple landmarks so that you know that you're going east to where we were or west or, that type of thing. Tamison Tower was one of those landmarks. It, you know about it, you know where it is, Neuros. It's Karam that remembers more on it, that it's one of Cantargo's noble families. And funny enough, getting such a good role in society, the DM also has to give up information that the fact that it's located in Alabaster Academy. But remembering all that information crucially for later, but no time to talk about that right now. That's a solid 2 rounds, 3, even if I'm being generous, that I owe the boys. So, strictly with initiative order, okay? The ghost-like humans had initiative on you guys, chanted, waited, and shifted their initiatives, in and amongst you. But to set you guys to, what you were doing, and I kind of... went back to them, this haunting, and then you guys all moved and they come running up or whatever. I'm just going to have them they had delayed. So just give me a second in case you're wondering what the hell I'm doing now. As I'm actually lowering their initiatives to what they decided to do afterwards. Come on, damn it. Right. So, Muros gone, Karos gone, which brings us to Alll. And we are technically in round 3.
Yikes.
So it's time to go back to a battle. A battle screen with battling people. Boop. What do you want to do, Alll?
I'm going to cast Chilling Spray as a heightened to level 4.
Okay.
On the dude who's right in front of me.
All right.
So that would be so heightened 1, heightened 2, heightened 3, so 64 plus 2d4, so 8d4 with a reflex save. So I will push the button.
What? I was wait. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I didn't think you had him targeted, but it looks like you do. Okay, you're good.
I do, yes.
Okay.
Creature takes half damage.
Successful with a 36. So he saves, but not critically.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
Hold against a quasi-incorporeal thing.
2, 6. All right. Damage button. What?
Read it out. Tell him the bad news.
It says damage 1 to ghost-like humanoid 1, half partially resisted.
Yep. Dude's got some serious immunities because he's special. However, I will say, if you burn an action for perception, there is something out of the corner of your eye.
I will not, so
Okay.
don't say anything. And
All
then
right.
I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15.
Can I tell you it's your arcane eye?
So, sorry, one more over. On
Okay.
2.
He runs for it. No, I'm not wasting my ass over to Victor.
I'm out.
Wasn't my delivery. He just wanted to move away from the bad guy.
And that is my turn.
Vicar Niles.
Okay.
Vicar is he's in a just defensive position, like he's focused on something in front of him as opposed to what Glug Glug is fighting 20 feet away. What do you do, Vicar?
I am going to cast a spell. I'm going to cast Divine Lance.
Okay.
But I'm not going to target the dog in front of me. I'm
Okay.
going to target ghost-like humanoid number 1.
Okay, so the guy that Alll just came from.
Yes.
All right.
I'm getting there. It's ranged attack. Yay. A 32.
That is a hit.
Yay. $15 damage, but came to 7 because it was resisted. Partially
Yes.
resisted.
As your divine holy energy ripples and lances out across the room and strikes him, there is a glimmer out of your proverbial corner of your eye. But unless you spend an action to go, hang on, what the hell was that? I'm not going to give up any more information because I'm being nice and digging into flavor to help you guys.
Okay. I will raise my shield. That's my last action.
No one trusts the GM at this point. Book 3. All right. Glug Glug.
All right. I've targeted ghost-like humanoid number 2. I've targeted him with my smite, and I'm going to hopefully attack him. You can tell me later if I hit, whether he's unholy. But I got to hit first. 18. It's going to be a critical hit. 39. Do I get unholy bonus damage? Is he unholy?
I'm undead. I don't know if I'm unholy. Hang on.
He may not be.
Well, I can do something nasty, but I don't know if that makes me a spellcaster. 1 second.
No, you would just be straight up unholy. It would be a type. You'd be a trait.
I am a rare, lawful evil, medium, incorporeal, undead, as per the legacy rules. Now, if one of those flips me into unholy, because I would have to like be
No, if you haven't
evil, have
dedicated
evil
yourself
damage.
to something.
Yeah,
All right,
so-
I'll just do the standard smite, which should get doubled because it was critical. So we'll see. It did. Okay, 31 points of damage. And that has my bonus damage in it, so 23 total is because it was still partially resisted.
I'll tell you what. Not just, but kind of, because your party is split. Because I know of this thing's origin, how I came to be sitting in a coffee house actually has a serious unholy casting, let's say,
so undead
I'd say yes.
so the undead type is unholy. Yeah.
I was going to say, because it's like the guy that invited me here is like an unholy caster, so why not? I would make him so yeah.
Okay. If he's unholy, then that is 4 extra points of damage to him.
Okay. So instead of just 23 resisted from
It would
31.
be 27. Right. It would be 35, which I would assume we resisted to.
I just taken the 23 up to 27, like you said.
Yep.
Because the other resistances are legit. The dude's got coming out of his yang.
All right. That was attack number 1. I'm going to attack again.
Yes.
14 gives me a hit with a 30.
Okay.
17 points of damage. Partially resisted down to 1. That's not showing the the holy. It's all holy damage, but maybe he does resist 16 of the 17 points of damage I did.
Might. Huh. I don't see why you would.
I mean, I did have to manually do some of that, so maybe that's why it's not typing correctly.
Well, I am immune to death effects, disease, paralyzation, poison, precision, unconsciousness. I resist all damage, a certain number under certain circumstances, and a different number under different circumstances, with the exception of this. Okay. It's because I'm a ghost. Like, I'm only partially here. I could have totally floated through that table if I wanted to, but since he's,
All good.
thinks like a dude, yeah. So I think it's like I said, it's just there's nothing here about having any susception or like to anything like good damage or anything. And I even get twice as much resistance against any non-magical. Right? Oh, hang on. Positive. There we go. Yeah, I shouldn't have any resistance from positive effects. And all your smiting and everything are positive holy effects.
It's a version difference between terminologies.
Yeah, find it. Okay, yeah. I had to dig, but there it is. Okay, so of the 17, Doug, how much is holy?
All of it technically is holy.
Okay.
All damage that I deal carries the trait of holy.
So because of your new feats or just because you turned on smite? Just curious.
No, as in this new edition, all damage that I do is holy.
You literally flick me on the forehead and that's holy damage?
Yes.
Okay.
It is part of my sanctification.
Okay. Hey, we are playing revised rules in favor of the player.
Yeah.
And
well, the sanctification that sort of like puts me on the path of being a champion means that I am holy. I gain the holy trait, and I add that trait to any strikes that I make.
It still only took one.
Fights with the power of Kyrgyz.
Sometimes arguing with Kyrgyz, sometimes not. Okay, so say 39 is 10. Come on. 10. And another 5 would be... Okay. Okay, so backing up, right? I owe you damage from before, right? Because we've now established that everything you do, you can spit holiness, that full 31 that I partially resisted down to 23.
Right.
Brought it
so
up to
16
27.
more. So it should be 16 more.
I'm halfway through my math. Don't throw numbers at me, please. I've already done the ladder attacks. Okay, we had 23 formerly of 31. We raised it to 27. The difference is 4, so I only owe you 4.
You owe me 16, but that's okay.
I did all that. As I said, Doug, I've already done the ladder damage from the 17 to the 1. Done that. It's in there. Now I was retconning old stuff. I'm not giving you 32 points of damage. The first 16 already is on there.
What? Okay. You're good.
I did it. Trust me.
I believe you. Okay. Sure.
Okay. I have taken 48 points of damage, mostly from you.
So that 31 should have been a 35.
Right.
Yes.
So that's where you're missing out on a bit of DPS.
Yeah, I mean, but he added
brought him up to a 31.
He added
should have
those
been brought
4
up
in
to
that
35.
conversation. Yeah, he added those 4 in the conversation.
Yeah.
So,
this damage.
31 became 35.
I'm looking at your little spiel for the for your damage type, and it does have it listed as
do you want to add
untyped.
35 to 17 and come up with a number?
Jeff, I told you it was good. I told you.
I just like I think I've given too much here. I think if I add 35 and 17, it's less than the thing I've got on here. Quit while you're ahead there, guys. Anyway,
but yeah, that might be why it's not counting as a holy attack, Doug, is because it's actually listed on your attack when you roll your damage. It says type untyped.
Okay.
and I don't know where that
I may have
modifier
to use
is.
the other die. Maybe
Actually, you know what? You could actually open your weapon, unlock it, and retype just with a comma. Type holy, type whatever, and it'll probably put it back in. Could probably do that later. But I think I know how to fix your character so that we don't keep running into this. Save the audience a lot of grief of us going back and forth redoing math. Just somebody remind me that I believe I know how to. Drew knows how to do it too. Manually retype damage to make this work for you.
Maybe, sure. Okay, maybe you can do that. That'd be great. I've already done that, but that's cool. It may not. It clearly I didn't do it right. So, okay, I've attacked. I'm now going to move 2 squares to the west.
Okay.
Do I have any awareness of the thingy now at all?
Only one that sees what. Awareness of what is my answer.
Well, only that Vicar grunted with pain, and I will raise my shield.
You hear a grunt behind you, you're focused on the guy in front of you, and by the time you turn around and come over here, he's actually targeting the spook across the room.
Yep. And I've raised my shield.
Okay. Would you actually step into that square not having any idea that it's there?
Would I not? What? I'm trying to get all of my allies within 15 feet of me so that they're in my champion's aura.
I got you.
That is the objective of my movement.
That's fine. I didn't know if you'd stack up.
No extra meta. Don't worry.
No, okay. Would have been helpful. Doug, he's standing on the Hellhound, possibly. 3 times I've tried to blatantly help you. You guys think I'm so sus. I split the party. I mean, sorry, you split the party. I'm trying to be helpful, but no. All right. Which brings us to
the bed.
A bell, a doggy, and a bell. The bells continue to ring, I believe. Dun, 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 dun. Yep. Can I have a fortitude save as those bells ring out? DC 24.
Everyone?
Yep. Well, the 3 of you down here.
Even if we hit crits saved previously?
It's an attack. It's a fresh one. There's nothing in here about being immune to it later. You get a brand new gong.
No, that's fine. I just thought I would ask, and sometimes it does.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not offended. That's a good point. Fresh attack, fresh action, fresh round, ding dong. 4d6. 24 is what you want. You guys all save with 26s. Exactly. Because you're lined up. What the hell happened there?
It's 26.
Well, that's interesting. $12 points in half, 6 points each.
And I take 0.
Mm-hmm.
Because your saves are crits, yeah. So Alll brings you up to 53. Vicar goes up to 28. Glug takes Zippo. And our doggy turns and continues to try to chew on... Oh, 1 second. I just gotta quickly read something because victims, yes, it comes chase you. Ah, yes, this is strides, it's dies in turn. Yeah, okay, yep, you're right there. I chew away. You are my chew toy. Am I targeting you? Let's target you so I can use this thing. Boink. Now, I'm really worried that if I push a button, you guys are going to learn something you're not supposed to know, but at this point, yeah, fuck. Oh, well. With the power of story, this hellhound chews, and as it moves, it sort of wavers and chews on you. And Glug Glug, you see a wait. Remember how you were so intent on the guy coming out of the floor? Like, you hunted down that first spook. Went right for him, all this stuff. You wanted to find him. You want to know what the chanting was. You hunted him down. He's your guy. You're like locked onto this thing, right? You're backing off, shields up. You want to bring these guys in. Not the Hellhound. You're unaware of it. But this glimmer of holy aura, there is a thread, a line that goes directly from the spook to between your legs and just stops at a point in the air and moves around. Like, imagine putting a kite in the air and you can see the string, but you can't see the kite. And the end of the string goes, wee. This is what you glimmer, because it literally crosses right through you, so no perception needed. And you are a holy man, attuned to such energies. Negative energy goes right between your legs, attaches to something that's not there, and is just going ballistic in front of Niles. And you see him, flinch. 18 points of chew toy damage.
I would like to glimpse of redemption some of that damage if I can.
No. Because I am making this shit up. It's outside the rules. I'm just hinting that, like, inside the rules, he goes, ow! And he cradles his arm like he got hurt. And you're like, what the hell's wrong with you? And it's like, it's happened, and your brain goes, wait a minute, there's some kind of holy damage going back to the guy, because technically, I'm not causing it. Okay? He has set something in place, and now I'm detached from it for what it does, though I still have a connection as nothing to do with attacks. It's something completely different. Watch the after show as everyone, haggles out my GM style of like, well, it would, but it wouldn't. But I could see where you're going. But I don't want to spoil anything just yet. But trust me, I am trying to be as nice as possible. Can you read for me your ability? If I can find a loophole, I'll give it to you. But I seriously doubt.
So it says the trigger is an enemy damages your ally. And both are in your champion's aura.
Okay. I'm not an enemy. I'm a hazard. So if a trap went off or something in the hazard category, damage your enemy, can you nerf that? Because technically, this thing, even though it's a big ball of unholy energy, summoned by me, programmed to run this illusionary course, it's technically a hazard, not a creature. But it said enemy, right?
If an enemy has not done something, then
I'll give it to you.
Well, if an enemy, I'm leaning in your direction. If there isn't an enemy that can hesitate under, if there is no enemy present,
at this point,
automatic, thing that's just bouncing around the room.
You
can't stop.
You've interacted with this thing for 1 round. Niles for 2. Niles, you've run into complex haunts before. You must rack your brain of religious knowledge, and you go Exodus, Nominus, Mominus, Dominus, get out of the bus, and you exercise this thing on the spot, and you can dispel it. But it has no hit points, no saves, no nothing. But if you succumb to said haunt, like diabolical bells going off, or a second one where only one person can see my target and a hellhound hunts you down and chews happily away, they are area of effect based. And you guys are obviously inside an overlapping area of effect and are probably subject to not 1, but 2 complex haunts that those fuckers summoned and are now letting run. But you've never heard of a complex haunt.
Yeah, that's why I don't like things like that, where they're like, "Oh, you can dispel it." No, you can't.
No,
you can try. You don't dispel it.
You specifically, even with a nat 20, cannot dispel if that creature is even 1 level higher than you.
It's not magic.
You cannot do it.
It's nothing. Your spell is dispel magic. This has nothing to do with magic.
Yeah, but
It's a haunt. It's an undead apparition. It actually says religion DC check 24 expert in religion to perform an exorcism with 2 actions to get rid of it. This has nothing to do with magic.
It was
right?
like thievery.
Kinda.
It's like
right?
it's a religious disarming kind of deal. Yeah. Because there's a few things that I've seen where I've been like, oh man, we should just dispel that. And I'm like, oh wait, you can't.
Yeah, but the funny thing was thievery worked on the glyph because it actually had a glyph that caused it, right? So he could activate the glyph and wipe it out, or you could ominous dumbus and expel the after effect. In this case, the glyph is the ghost. Spends 3 actions in the floor, summons these things. Each one has his own. One likes bells, one likes dogs, right? Sets them loose on you. They have a 30-foot range, 60-foot range, 100-foot range, whatever they have. They play out their illusion or whatever, and again, it's not a disbelief thing. It actually is negative energy shaped into something, or psychic negative energy shaped into something that plays out like sometimes they play it like a movie. They're Mummy's Mask.
It's an apparition.
Yeah, well, they call it a haunt because it can actually affect an area. Like you could see the room the lovers killed each other in back in the day, and all the furniture uprights and becomes non-dusty, and they could be pretty cool. Or sometimes it's just something that chases you down and wants to eat your face, Gibson. So. Now, normally, in a regular game, they would just trust and ooh and ah. But unfortunately, I've dug myself into such a deep rules lawyer's hole, it's easier for me to spell these beans to have you guys beat your head against the roll while determined that, once again, I've misread a monster or screwed it up. So there you go. After encountering these types of religious things and being an expert in religion and exorcism, which automatically trains you to fight them, Gibson, and possibly Glug Glug. I don't know if you're just trained or expert. You need to be expert in religion. Your training prepares you for these things, and it starts to click in that this is what you're dealing with. Ghost-like humanoid number, well, the one that smacked Alll. Yeah. Flies over. And just for style, flies up in the air, hovers over the table, and comes right over to Alll and Vicar Niles. And odd or even, Alll?
Even.
And roll a D something, Vicar.
Okay. Didn't go anywhere. Hold on. There we
Drop
go.
it in the box.
I did drop it in the box.
Once again, everything loves the holy man. Changing targets from Alll to
I did
Vicar.
hurt him.
That is true. I have holy ouchies, and you are a problem. You must go. Burning mace to the face. 12 gives me a 34, which hits Niles and does 23 points of damage.
Minus
Plus.
my glimpse of redemption now, because I can do it now.
I can't
Sure.
do this.
I'm not done. Plus shove, because it's a
Plus
shoving.
shove?
Plus shove. Well, it's a magical fire shoving weapon. I'm assuming it's like how a staff is a tripping weapon. If I have trip, I can use a staff, but I choose no shoving at this time. Doug. Suddenly, my wicked mace turns into Nerf foam because
he hesitates under the weight of sin as visions of redemption play in its mind's eye. The enemy must choose to repent or refuse.
die.
So it can take enfeebled 2, subtract 12 points from the damage, and then take 2 persistent holy damage. Or
Whoa.
do no damage at all.
No, it'll take that. And it's a no-brainer from what I know of this monster and this former person that's been duplicated. So, where are we here?
That was a 23-point hit on him, so that dropped that. Get 12 of that back.
Take 12 of that off. Okay, so first we go to Vicar Niles. And we make that 57, so 69.
Ghost-like humanoid 2 gets enfeebled 2.
Ghost-like humanoid. Yeah, I guess we haven't figured out who this is yet. Wrong guys here. Okay. Where are we here? Where's my enfeebled? Enfeebled 2. Okay. And what was the other one? Effect?
And at the end of its turn, it takes 2 points of persistent holy damage with a base flat check to see if they can drop that.
Oh, nice. Where's my...
But it does have to take the
there we
2
go.
point first.
Okay. Changing enfeebled 1 to 2. And he immediately takes damage or later? It's
Well, he
persistent,
takes
so it starts
damage
on
at the end of his turn. It's just a flat roll to see whether he's goes into next round
I
persistent.
thought we always established persistent starts on the following round. You take whatever damage up front from the effect, because you don't take bleed damage and then take bleed damage.
Starts on
from
the
persistent.
creature's round, not the following round. Starts on the creature's round.
A creature's round. Oh, okay.
Yeah, or whoever the target is, right? So because he used it as a reaction during that.
It'll start on mine. Okay.
Right.
I'm thinking when
But
you
it-
guys cast a spell. Right. Yeah.
Right. And then the key thing is that it happens and then they get the flat check on a persistent. So they always take the damage before they roll to take no more after that.
Okay. Okay, so another 2. Speaking of damage, your lance. We nerfed Vickers' lance, and now we know he would have taken all of it. Right?
Oh,
So
okay.
Vickers' lance is 15, right? Not just 8. So there you go. That's what I owe you. Plus 2,
okay.
because you brought along your big annoying friend. Likes messing with all the monsters. Now, if I could please finish. A glimpse of redemption, and it messes him up, and he wants to strike you and follows through and takes all these ill effects, partially enraging me. So I'm actually going to take a second swing at you with penalties as I fight through my existence, because there can only be one, and I want to be that one. 17 with a critical miss. The glimpse of redemption has messed him up so badly. He gains slowed 1 from overthinking his life, which actually is an entire adventure called Hell's Rebels. That is my whole life right there. Dang it. The next creature comes flying over to you, Glug Glug, and gleefully... Wait a minute. What's this? Do I not have spells? Am I not a spellcaster? Nope, I just want to whack you with my big stick. Never mind. How about you? Burning Mace to the face with the miss. Second attack with penalties. Burning Mace to the... Not 20. Aha, the first one was a feint, obviously. Doing 2d6 plus 8. 2d6 fire. Do you have any fire immunities, sir? No. Right? You're not fireproof in any way like the rest of your friends? See a recurring theme here, something you might want to invest in the market. Just saying.
Can I
jeez.
will tempting. I'll take it.
Yes, no?
I was thinking about whether or not I was going to damage my shield, but I won't. I will take that.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
right.
I forgot I've got spiny. I got spiny shield, so it won't get hurt that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. No, I lied. I'll take it on the chin. I'm good. Sorry to be indecisive.
38 points of damage. He's so decisive in the middle of my turn. Wait! Think about what you're doing. Now he's like, I don't know.
Well,
it's
it's all the difference between reacting to something else. Planning my attack, I sort of stack my shit, but reacting to somebody else. So.
Okay. As back upstairs. Okay. That's a single round, even though I owe these guys 2 or 3. But back upstairs, even though you guys are a couple of rounds in advance, it would take you time to get there. You guys are above them. And you are not close enough to hear the bell. But you are close enough to hear praying for Kurgas. Like you guys, these, even though they don't roleplay as much as I'd like to, you hear the spell casting and all this stuff coming up through the floor. While you are talking. Right? So, it's going to come down to you guys is, would you guys run back through the window, jump off the side, and get the hell in there and help your friends? Because there is actually a door on floor level. practically right below that window, or stay put, and I'll owe you guys probably the next entire episode to catch you guys up with your own combat with whatever terror lies beyond this door.
I guess what's the fastest way to get to them? Would it be to open the door and try to go down the stairs, or to jump out the window and meet up with them?
You don't know the layout, so you don't know where that stair could be. You could ask her, but that would take more time, right? So asking for the layout, right? You are familiar with the exterior because you came upon it. You know that below that window, within 20 feet either left or right, there's a door. You may have to kick it in, could be a back entrance, could take you into a kitchen, but technically to get to them on that level, that would be faster. But, not to screw you up, and I do apologize for dangling a carrot in front of Ryan, while Karam is thinking about this, and technically Karam is talking to the girl, Muros, do you speak Infernal? I'll take that as a no.
No, that just means you don't speak Infernal.
Ah!
Common Dwarven Gnome Sylvan. I'm going to say no. You hear a low, two-sided, pleasant, infernal conversation through the door. There is obviously
Is there such a
something
beast as a pleasant infernal conversation?
Yeah, pleasant infernal conversation is a contradiction in terms.
We'll get back to that. An interesting reveal perhaps down the road. But two distinct voices speaking in infernal in low tones, not hushed tones, just having a casual conversation like one would at a coffee shop.
So,
And they are they're literally
that.
10 feet away from the door. They are both exactly 10 feet from the door, which means you could probably hear them.
Which means I can eat them.
I'm just saying. It's decision time, boys. If, as a player, you want to reinforce a battle that could still go either way, get your butts down there, by all means, so that no one blames me for splitting the party. If you want to definitely split the party, yeah, I know. I'm not saying it's going to open by itself. If you want to throw caution to the wind and get into your own battle,
I think Karen would start to try to save the halfling girl. Like, let's go out the window.
Okay, so Karam's already headed for the window.
Let's see what Muros does.
Muros does not have a good track record.
No, you cannot eat her. You could catch her if I toss her down
For
the
safety.
roof. You want to carry her in your mouth, not eat her.
At this point,
Yes.
she's shoving Karam out of the way of the window. Clambering out the open window. Out of my way, short stuff. He's nuts. The gnome is crazy. Cannibal.
You can take that as a no.
Oh,
Okay.
well, why didn't you just start with that?
So
It
Karam's
was a
going.
simple question.
All right. So you're going out.
Can we place the Wildy Coyote sound here?
The one where he hits him? Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the Goofy yell, right? That's actually that's like Goofy. Whenever he would fall off something.
I'm like, they can't afford every sound effect.
Okay. Budget, I get it. All right. So does that mean you're gonna jump out the window?
Me? No. Fuck that shit.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, outside the other
it
window.
wouldn't cause me any harm. But I mean, like, if you jump out the window, that's your business.
Well, you asked for a yell, so I'm curious who you think's gonna make it. Who's making this yell?
You jump out of the window, that's an issue, not an ish me.
I jump out this window. There's a lovely roof flat top right below it. The one you crawled in, so no yell intended.
Yeah, rock on. I'm happy for you. Jackie Chan will be proud.
Okay. Karam, you heading out this window?
I will continue to head out the window looking at Muros, trying to get him to come, but knowing he may not.
Dude, use your words.
No, at this
Yeah.
point he
Oh,
chooses
come on.
to sign. This point he chooses to sign at you, all confused and shit.
Oh, then I
I'll
follow.
sign
I
eating.
follow. Yeah, me eat. Yes.
Food,
I follow.
food this way.
Oh,
Food
okay.
this way.
Very good. Karam. You're thinking way too many steps higher than this need to be.
Okay. Ignoring that conversation alone probably took 2 more rounds. Out the window and down. Athletics 15 DC. 20 to help the girl.
Oh no, nat 1. I will use my hero point for that.
Okay.
Let's try that again. There we go, 25.
Boink. And Murals.
Yes.
Sneak away from the door. Hope they didn't hear us. And follow suit, or did you want to do something
Yes.
else?
Nah. Karam needs more protection. He is weak and feeble.
All right.
It's true. I can take a crit and go down. It's happened.
I'm very responsible for my party members.
All right. Miros, Karam, Elbrick.
Well, that's a me. I will reach into my cloak and perform a quick alchemy to make an elixir of life and drink it. So that is 5d6 plus 12 hit points.
Just, the silver shaker at cocktail, and he just, excuse me, right in front of the bad guy, and pour in the nice glass, and then drinks it himself.
Yep.
Cool.
I'll take it. I need it.
right.
So 25 hit points regained.
All right.
And that's my turn, I think. 2 actions for quick alchemy, 1 action to consume.
Okay. And Vicar Niles?
Yeah, I would like to cast a 3-action heal. So if you can
Alright.
target everybody in the area, it's a 30-foot emanation from me.
Separate the enemies.
Nope.
And
Yeah, I know.
yeah, well, for the sake of
Because-
fantasy grounds,
Okay.
We
yeah.
did this Monday, dude. Troy
Yeah,
healed
yeah,
all
okay.
the bad guys.
Okay. Never mind.
because there's 2 separate buttons. One is a heal button, one's a damage button.
Yeah.
No, not on mine.
Click the cog wheel. And it should list the 2 different ones. One will be like a green cross, the other one will be the blood drop or something like that. Whatever
No,
it is.
I just got the little blood drop. That's it.
Oh, you're going to hurt these people.
Well, because it's positive energy. So it
No, I
heals
I
us
get it, but
and hurts the bad
yeah.
guys.
It does. We did this on the Monday show, and unfortunately, when he pressed the button, because Fantasy Grounds is like one-sided,
Oh, okay.
it healed all the bad guys and caused a bunch of math problems. So that's why Matt's jumping down your throat, going, "Wait!"
Okay, fair enough then. Okay. Then
We-
just
wait,
heal the party.
I'm on healing right now,
Okay.
and,
Sweet.
I will damage the other guys the same, but we get will saves. 14
So-
points.
14. That's a crappy
Okay.
ass roll. 5d10
Okay.
for 14.
Because you are in a tavern-like establishment. Okay, I know it's verbal, but all you got to do is raise your glass and look to the sky like, huh? Help me out? And he does. No big spiel required. Okay. Okay, so according to your healing and health and such, I get a will or fort, one or the other, to resist said damage.
I'm reading. And save is a fort. A fort save.
All right.
26.
I'm gonna target them. Hit your blood.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Hit my damage? Okay, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hit us.
Ow, ow, ow.
Oh, hang on a second. My bad.
Mm.
Sorry. wrong character targeting wrong stuff. I'm so sorry. Try that again. I know I owe everybody 42 points of damage, but go again.
42, yeah, that's right.
19. Okay.
19.
I could have same burst. I could have gone with the 14. My bad, not giving the 42, but I'll go with 19. At least you're going to get more than before. Okay. I owe you guys 42. 42 points. All right. Get out my calculator for that real quick. And that is the triple whammy happy doodle burst.
Yep. Yep, that's 3 action burst.
All right.
I got me.
Thank you. Which brings us down to me. I mean, Glug Glug.
Okay. I'm going to lay hands on myself
Okay.
for 36 more points of damage,
Yeah.
plus a +1 to my armor class. And then I'm going to retarget, hopefully. Sweet. I am retargeted. I
Okay.
then am going to attack with my striking javelin.
Okay.
Sweet. 17. That's going to be a 38. That's going to be a hit. All right. 19 points of damage. It partially resisted, but I think you wanted to give most of that back.
Yeah, all of it, because one of the
Yep.
things that my resistance is queued to is like ghost touch weapons. I take all of it. Positive energy, I take all of it. So I'll just ramp it right back up to the 19.
Okay. Then I'm going to attack again.
Sorry, which guy were you attacking?
I'm attacking ghost like humanoid number 2, which it looks like it hit. Yeah. You just had to add. That's right. You just have to give them more damage. And they're both pretty bloody, I imagine, at this point.
We don't believe we're ghosts, but yeah.
My second attack is not as good. It's a miss.
Okay.
I'm going to 5-foot adjust to the west if I can.
Okay.
And then raise my shield.
Right.
And that's me.
The Hell's Bells. I'd love to play AC/DC, but perhaps I can afford some other kind of copyright royalty music at the end of this episode. Or last one. Rings out for fortitude saves for the 3 of you. $24 is what you're looking for.
Woohoo. I got an 18.
I got a 40.
Which is a critical success all by itself.
Aha, he doesn't get to use that power where regulars are crits because he got the crit. How dare you? All right, 16 points of damage for Alll, 8 for Niles, and 40 for Glug Glug. I mean,
All right.
0 for Glug Glug.
I took it.
Okay. Niles gets half. Where are you, Niles? We'll just add 8 to your expenditures.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And next, I continue to chew. I, for my part of said, believability, he just moves, boop, Up. Choose. Move and chew. Where are we here? Vicar Niles, 35 for a hit. Takes 1d10 plus 11 plus piercing, 1d10 fire damage. And with penalties, attempts to chew you again. And misses. The ghosts of ghostlessness past. I'm going to fly back, up, and once again, maybe it's just a theme, coming down above, but it's more of a waist height to your head, so I can just strike you. You know, you just, right? +1 for high ground, still thing in the revised? I don't think it is, really. I don't think so. Coming down at this dude that's caused me so much trouble. Burning Mace to Glug Glug. Critical miss. Now, I think this is the guy that was slowed before, was it not?
Correct. He has slowed one on him. Yeah.
So, I only had 2 actions. I moved, I struck, I missed, and I get another one for next time. So, carrying into the next round, he's still slowed, and I have to take my persistent damage, and I have to try to roll away for that persistent damage. But before I take this persistent damage, I never rolled last round.
That is correct.
I'm going to roll this now. Flat check 5. So, 2 points, right? Is that 4 points? What was that?
That's correct. Yeah, 2 more. It's 2 more points now, and then you get another flat check.
I think I will. Don't mind if I do. 11. Not so much.
Oh,
That's
he was
him.
slowed too, that guy was, right?
Yeah,
From
well,
the
we just
last
covered that.
critical miss.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did
We just
cover
covered
that.
it.
Sorry.
He moved, single strike, only 2 out of 3. And now, I'm going to move up. And just the other guy is going to take the whacks. Also at the big guy. 2d6 plus 8 damage for hits. 24 points to Glug Glug. And then with penalties, a second swing of his burning mace for another hit. And Glug Glug takes another 26 points of damage. Just starts wailing on you.
Okay.
And then we begin. What?
Whoa. Okay. I would like to raise my shield on the first attack. And
Okay.
So that will take. I'll give myself. I think I'll do it at hardness of 9. I'll give myself 9 hit points back, and I'll take care of everything else.
Okay. You want to just give yourself 9?
Yep.
Thank you. So raising your shield and interjecting most, or at least a piece of the 24 points of damage as a spine breaks off, and you still take it down to the shoulder. Ow! For the remainder of that.
Correct.
For the other 5 points, yoch. And we're set.
Yep.
And that brings us to the end of round 5. And we will see you with a bunch of scurrying reinforcements in the next episode.
I'm rolling thunder, I'm pouring rain. I'm coming on like a hurricane. My lightning's flashing across the sky. You're only young, but you're gonna die. I won't take no prisoners, won't spare no lives. Nobody's putting up a fight. I got my bell, I'm gonna take you to hell. I'm gonna get your Satan, get your house back. House back. You got me ringing house back. evil, you're a friend of mine. See the white light flashing, I split the night. Princess got on the left, then I'm sticking to the right. I won't take no prisoners, won't spare no lives. Nobody's putting up a fight. I got my bell, I'm